Hey guys, we still gonna talk about Maxxine Dupri big title win of winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship on Monday Night Raw in Madison Square Garden. We'll talk about the real reasons why she won and what will happen next. Tune in more to the Pink Square Circle. Hey guys, we're back at Pink Square Circle. We will talk about today why Maxxine Dupri is champion WWE. Now, Maxxine Dupri, she has recently defeated Becky Lynch to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This is her first singles title in WWE. She won on Monday Night Raw due to outside interference from a return to AJ Lee that we haven't seen in months. She will cause distraction to Becky Lynch. That will allow Maxxine Dupri to hit a move off the top rope, which she did a dive, a splash, and it caused 1, 2, 3 for Maxxine to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, this was a huge pop, a big win for Maxxine Dupri, the biggest win of her career. We know she came a long way because we know she's been chasing the Women's Intercontinental Championship for a while. Now, we know that Becky Lynch has been a thorn in Maxxine Dupri's side. Maxxine did get one victory over Becky Lynch, but it was a count-out victory. So count-out victories, championship does not change hands. This happened maybe right before Crown Jewel last month. If you guys remember, she won count-out. This is where Becky Lynch started going crazy, having a conspiracy with the referee, Jessica Carr, and everything else. But I will say it was a great underdog story for Maxxine Dupri. For her to win that count-out, we knew she was going to eventually win that championship. Now, she did an interview with Chris Van Fleet where she talks about her training and her grind to get where she's at right now.
Relationship like with criticism, because some of it's fair,
and
then a big bunch of it is just being mean.
Yeah, I think, just know that I'm always criticizing myself more than anyone else is. I recognize all of it, I promise you.
Yeah.
But I also think it's so great to hear the praise and hear that people feel something with you. But at the same time, that can all change in the blink of an eye. And at the end of the day, I'm playing a character, and I love that character makes them feel something, good or bad. If they feel something, then I've done my job. So I think the criticism I take is from people that I really admire and look up to, and who I know are coming from a place of love and want to see me shine and grow. And I have lots of those people in my life that I get to go to, which is so cool. Yeah. So I just try not to fish for any of it online.
That reminds me so much of this quote that I love. Never take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from.
Exactly. Yes.
It's so powerful.
Yes. And on the flip side too, I also believe I don't need to believe a ton of hype. There's still room for me to grow, and there's still so much more for me to do. So it's on either way, I don't really need to be reading it in that platform.
I know that you looked up to the belt. Now, I asked you this last time you were on the show about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Maybe your answers changed, but what are your goals now for the rest of this year and then into 2026?
So I can't remember what I told you last time. I'll have to play that back. I think surface level, my goals are, right? I would love to win a title. That would be a really cool accomplishment. But the reason I want to win a title is because I want to have put in all that work. And I just for me, it's that moment of oh yes, I've done enough work that I'm capable of doing this. I'm capable of winning this title. So it's more for me, throughout the end of this year, I want to keep wrestling as often as I can. I want to stay on NXT Live events. I want to be booked and busy. I want to wrestle dark matches. I want to wrestle on main event. I want to have rep after rep after rep. So that way, when those opportunities come, I can step into the ring with full confidence. And I think that is truly what my goal is. My goal is that every time I go into the ring, I want to feel so confident in the work that I've put in before that moment that I know I can just go out there and perform. So I think continuing the work that I'm doing in the ring, that way I'm capable of doing that.
I feel like you look like you're having so much fun out there.
Thank you. I am.
When you're dancing after a match, it just leveled up really quickly. I remember watching a match where out of nowhere, you pull out a step up enziguri, and I was like, whoa, look at this.
Thank you.
How did the growth in the ring happen so quickly?
I really do feel like it shifted when I expanded my training. I think it's easy to everyone how do I phrase this? Everyone on main roster, right? Like a lot of them have wrestled on the indies or they've all trained at different places. So everyone does things differently. So I think getting to learn from different people and like taking it all in allows you to be well-rounded.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I needed. Like I just needed I needed to learn from different people, different coaches, be in the dungeon, be at Flatbacks, be at the Performance Center, do NXT Live events with girls I've never worked with before that I've never locked up with. And really just start like figuring out all those in-betweens. Because I think it's the little things that helped me level up more than just like I know like watching from the outside, it seems like, oh wow, okay, a new move, she's leveled up. But I think for the actual performance, it's all those little in-betweens that I really am still fine-tuning, but really needed to work on.
Yeah, I've heard, it's such a great quote. I've heard pro wrestling is what happens in between the moves.
Yes.
And it's so true, right? Because in between the suplexes and the DDTs and the headlocks and everything is making the crowd feel something.
Yes. And Miz said that to me early on. And that was something I was like, yes, it is those in-betweens. But and this is where I've made mistakes too, is it's not like...
Now, Maxxine Dupri talks about her training and the criticism from the fans to get where she's at right now. And I will say she came a long way from being a, model character, manager for the Maxxine Models Inc. with Max Dupri, now known as LA Knight. She definitely put in the work, but I will say it's a good underdog story, like I said before, where her being booed and she tried to wrestle, they gave her criticism. Then her work her way up to become the Women's Intercontinental Champion, because this was a great story of what they built with Maxxine Dupri. But I will say this, that Maxxine Dupri, they built on something, but I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. But I do remember, if you guys remember when she got booed last year at a house show here. With the current booking style of WWE today, the way Triple H and the creative team create booking and everything else, especially when it comes to title wins, he goes off pops. He goes off a huge pop in hometowns and everything like that. Since Maxxine Dupri is a great over babyface and he did it clearly for a pop, I hate to break it to you guys that are Maxxine Dupri fans, I do not see Maxxine Dupri holding on to the Women's Intercontinental Championship for a long period of time. Don't be surprised, guys, I'm going to call it right now, that Becky Lynch invokes her rematch clause and she somehow regains the Women's Intercontinental Championship from Maxxine Dupri at some time, because Becky Lynch is already going on social media saying that it's a conspiracy and she got wronged out losing her championship and with the crooked referee Jessica Carr. Now, somehow Becky Lynch don't regain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Expect another heel that just turned heel not too long ago that I talked about on this channel, Nikki Bella. I don't think she's going to defeat Stephanie Walker for the Women's World title. However, I can see Nikki Bella go on to challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And if Maxxine Dupri is still champion, I could see Nikki Bella going on to winning that championship and defeating Maxxine Dupri and be the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. But Maxxine Dupri, she's clearly just won this belt for a good pop. And we know WWE, the way they book things today, that people are not going to hold on to a championship long term. It's going to be a short term thing. I would say approximately, I can see Maxxine Dupri hold on to the championship anywhere from 30 days to no more than maybe 90 days to most 3 months. So a month to 3 months, there's going to be no long title reign like Becky had or even a run like Lyra had. It'll be a short run because it's going to be hard to book something like that when it comes to Maxxine Dupri as champion. How can you book that? So we got to take that into question. How would you book Maxxine Dupri as champion? And I don't think besides Becky and maybe Nikki, she's not going to have too many challenges that seem like a good feud to build the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This is a good thing for Maxxine Dupri because we know she was, criticized by the fans, and she has a little storyline with Candice LeRae and all that stuff like that when it comes to her not wrestling. But they will try to make the best of the run. But I wouldn't be surprised if Maxxine Dupri don't even defend the championship that much, because we know on Monday Night Raw, when it comes down to that, we don't even see the championships being defended that much. We don't see the tag team titles for the men's side being defended. or anything else for that matter. But I would love to see how they're going to do things with Maxxine Dupri now that she's won the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Like I said, great win, biggest win of her career. She came a long way, but she's a character that's over. She's not meant to have a championship for a long period of time. It will be a short time, because if you give Maxxine Dupri a long championship run, I think it's going to hurt her more than it can help her. It's not going to do anything for her. So, and then of course, AJ Lee interfering in that match, causing Maxxine to win, it will also be another factor into how Becky Lynch can get the championship back and AJ Lee can win the belt from her. That's also another good scenario that can make sense. AJ Lee, we know that she's been pretty much going to challenge Becky for a one-on-one match. And in order to do that, they're going to have to put the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line, meaning that Maxxine Dupri will eventually lose the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Like I said before, not going to be a long title run, but it makes sense for the story for Becky Lynch and AJ Lee to fight one-on-one against for that championship. Now, Maxxine Dupri, after she loses the Women's Intercontinental Championship to whoever she loses it to, she'll go back to being with the Alpha Academy, doing her worm and stuff, being a good character. But at least she will have the accolade now of she is a former Women's Intercontinental Champion, held in the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But I don't expect Maxxine Dupri to hold on to the championship for a super long time. Her character is not needed, and it's not too much story to tell about it, because if anything, Maxxine probably will be a better chaser for the championship due to her character and likeliness, better than to be holding on to a championship for a long period of time. We already see that with Cody Rhodes, when you have a super over character or top babyface holding a championship. But I think it would be great for Maxxine Dupri to not only chase a championship, but also just continue to thrive and grow as a competitor that she's been doing. Because I will say, from last year when she did get booed by the fans when they was mocking her and give her a lot of criticism, she did take that and just grow and got better. She's been in the dungeon. She's been training with Natalya. She's been getting better as an overall competitor, and I think that just fueled a fire under her to get her where she's at currently today, you know, having the momentum and winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But I don't expect nothing more or nothing less of Maxxine Dupri, you know, after winning this title. So the fans, you guys can get mad if you want to. I'm just calling it out the way I see it. There's nothing more further to do after winning this championship. And other than that, guys, that's all really I have for why Maxxine Dupri is champion WWE. What's the real reason for Maxxine Dupri title win? You guys let me know what you think. You guys click the link below to the next video. Check out the content of Pink Square Circle. And as usual, guys, I will see you guys later.